right, so the next step is to start to expand some of our fill ideas. In our previous lesson, we had done some eighth note fills and 16th note fills that went straight around the drums, usually snare, tom, floor tom, kind of in a circular pattern. Today we're going to use some combinations of 16th and 8th notes. Now, if you're unfamiliar with how 16th and 8th notes work together or what they are, take a look at the lesson on the website about notation, and we'll get into how 8th notes and 16ths interact, how many you can fit in a bar, and different combinations that we can do with those two different types of notes. Today we're just going to pick two different ones, and we're going to use them to create a couple different combinations for our fills. So the first pattern we're going to use to create our fill is an 8th note followed by two 16th notes. So if you're counting them, it would be 1 and a. We're going to leave out the E. Normally we count 16th notes, 1 E and a, 2 E and a. But today we're going to leave that E out and end up with 1 and a. All right, so the first one, let's just keep that same simple pattern around the kit, and let's do 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a. We'll do 2 sets on our floor tom when we get over there. So it'll sound like this. You could also mix up the drums, the order of the drums you're playing. Instead of just doing that straight pattern, you could start on the snare and go to the tom, then maybe come back to the snare, or go snare to floor tom, or even get your hi-hat involved in the fill too. So a couple other examples might be something like this. Or so any of those combinations are fair game. You can mix and match how you're putting these together and keep that 1/8 and 16th note pattern consistent. All right, so another pattern that we could try is the first 3/16ths of a measure, 1 E and. So instead of 1 and a where we left E out, now we're going to leave that last 16th, the out. So we're going to have 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and. So that'll sound something like this. Or if we moved it around the drums a couple different ways. Now you can see how many options you have when you start to pick different drums to put them on. When you're playing a fill, the one sound that you might want to avoid are some of those patterns on really long sounding parts of your drum set, like your ride cymbal or your crash cymbal. They're great ways to end a fill, or even put a punctuation in the middle, but to play a repetitive pattern that you've just played on some of the drums that have shorter sounds, it sounds a little awkward if you mix it in on, a ride cymbal or something like that. For example. Not the best sound. All right. In addition to having these couple different patterns we're using, the 1 E and 1 and a, you can mix and match. You can use 1 E and, 1 and a, 1 E and a, 1 and, a single quarter note, a rest. You could mix all these things up within a given fill to create a lot of really cool options. So I'm just going to play a couple of those right now. All right, so now let's mix up some of these fills and beats from before. We're going to start with example 3, but you could do these with any of the previous examples and any of those fill examples. You could combine them to create your own grooves. For today, let's take example 3 and combine it with that 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and a 4. All right, same idea, 120 beats per minute. So if you want to take these ideas even further, you can get into combining your beats. Instead of just playing one beat over and over again, you can take two and make a two-measure pattern out of them. So you'd play maybe idea 1 followed by idea 4, and then go back to idea 1, idea 4. So what I'll do is I'm going to play at 80 beats per minute a two-measure idea doing just that. We'll use example 1 where we had bass, snare, bass, bass, snare. And then my second measure, we're going to use that really syncopated example 4 that goes 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, and 4, and. So together, we'd end up with 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, and 4, and. All right, here we go, 80 beats per minute, and then we'll do it again at 120 beats per minute right afterwards. So hopefully that gives you guys a couple more fills and beats to mix into your own playing at home. Again, work these with a metronome. Start slow, speed up, make sure everything's staying nice and even. Take some chances. Put your bass drum in different spots in the bar than we did here. Try those fills out in different spots on the drum set. Use different 8th and 16th note combinations. Have some fun. Take some chances while you're playing. The practice police aren't going to descend from the ceiling while you're working at home and reprimand you for playing a bad fill or something like that. Have fun. Drums are fun. Take some chances and enjoy it. To finish off, I'm going to play at 120 beats per minute. I'm going to have some fun myself. I'm going to mix and match some of those bass drum patterns we were talking about, put some other fills in there, maybe do a couple more creative fills. Just have a little bit of fun. So thanks again for stopping by the Drum Shed, and we'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Please like and subscribe to keep up on all the new lessons and reviews. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and leave a comment below letting us know of any new lessons or reviews you'd like to see in the future. Also, if you enjoyed the lesson, please consider donating to thedrumshed.com to help fund future lessons. Just click the donate button on the main page of our website, and thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the shed.